Time now for the Audibles crew. Eric Sorensen chopping it up. He, of course, Zone Read. You can check his content out every week on the site. And Zach Elvira, East Valley Tribune sports editor. Let's start with you, Eric, on the Open. As we put up the graphic, you look at it, you say, okay, they got it right, they got it wrong. What do you see in the Open in these 8 teams?
I don't necessarily agree with it, especially down at the bottom. I think 3-loss Highland is deserving. Yes, I understand they have 3 losses. One was to Hamilton by 2. The other was to Saguaro, who's back in the Open. The other was an out-of-state early season loss to a school in Utah. I love what ALA Queen Creek has done this year. And O'Connor is a solid program, but I look at it, we've seen these blowouts in the first rounds, and I think we're going to get 2 more blowouts. As for the bracket as a whole, Brad, I love the way it lays out for Liberty. I mean, I think they're the best team. They've proven they're the best team. And to not have to face Basha or Chandler, who is on the other side of the bracket until later in the Open, is a huge advantage for the Lions.
Zach?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the best 8 teams are in there because Highland is not included in that. You know, the Hawks, they want to be in the Open. They wanted to be in the Open last year, and they went on to win the 6A title, and in dominant fashion, might I add. I think they're probably about to do the same thing. Now, obviously, they're going to be challenged, but looking back at the Open division, O'Connor, great season. ALA Queen Creek, one of the best teams in 5A, if not the best team. You can make an argument for that. But they're not Open division caliber programs. Maybe O'Connor you can make the argument for, but ALA Queen Creek I don't think even wanted to necessarily be in there fully anyway. They may say they want to, but in the back of their minds, I think they kind of wanted to play for that 5A title. But yeah, without Highland in here, I can't say these are the best 8 teams. But to Eric's point, the top 6, I think it's absolutely correct. Maybe not necessarily where everyone is ranked and ordered in that top 6, but those games, once we get to the semifinals especially, I think are going to be very competitive.
I think Hamilton of all the teams is the one sitting there saying, excuse me, but we beat Chandler and we have to go through Saguaro first. What did you make out of that, Eric?
Motivation should not be an issue considering Hamilton was the odds-on favorite last year and they ran into a Saguaro team who, this is crazy to say, but was kind of flying under the radar going into the Open. The SaberCats had that first early round game against Cactus and then knocked off the Huskies. That's going to be an unbelievable game. Both those teams are really good.
Zach?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Hamilton should have been above Chandler. I think the formula has to account for head-to-head matchups. I was talking to one athletic director in the Valley who believes that maybe the Westwood win might have hurt Hamilton just a little bit because Westwood obviously didn't have a great season, and that came kind of late in the year as well. But nonetheless, that really shouldn't matter in my opinion. They should be flipped, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter a whole lot. You still have to play what's in front of you, and I think Hamilton knows that.
Stick with you, Zach, for a second. Is there anybody that can challenge Liberty on this? Eyeball test to me says they're all really good teams, and yeah, it's one game, anything can happen, but it just feels and looks like Liberty is a notch above everybody, including Basha, in this Open.
Yeah, I mean, Liberty just has looked amazing. Liberty's been unstoppable. I mean, unless you force turnovers like Centennial did, but even then, Liberty still won that game by 10 points. So I don't know what it's going to take to actually take this team down. They're playing with passion. They're playing with kind of a chip on their shoulder a little bit too, because obviously they lost last year in the semifinals in a game they probably should have won. Yep. So this is a team that's really playing inspired, especially when you factor in the Zach Hunziger death. I mean, look, this is a team that wants it. This is a team that really is playing well together. I mean, they're a true team. They don't make very many mistakes. It's going to take a lot to take them down. Right now, I think they are the favorite, and they have to be.
Eric?
I agree, Brad. And I think Zach makes some great points. The one thing that I'm curious about with Liberty, he mentioned that 10-point win over Centennial. I want to see the Lions get tested a little. They're definitely a savvy group. And yeah, I think because they play in the West Valley and they don't get all the love they deserve, they are playing with that chip on their shoulder. But let's see how it is when you're in a 1-game single elimination playoff, and if a team can keep it close because they really haven't truly been tested, how will the Lions respond? I think they're built for it, but that's one storyline I'm really keeping my eye on.
Good stuff there. Zach Elvira, East Valley Tribune. You can check out his content. Of course, Eric Sorensen delivers the goods in his zone read every Thursday over on the website, and they join us each week. Good job there, guys. Now time for Coops Chronicles.